I know it's been a long time. But we coming back. I know I owe y'all probably a lot of apologies. I got a lot of explaining to do. But I don't know y'all shit. I don't give a damn no more. We coming to you. And here it is on Savage Mondays. Alright, some things I've just been thinking about a lot of stuff lately, right? I've been thinking, it's 2025, things going on. I know I did, like y'all seen, I bought the van. I've been working on that. It's turning out really good. It's coming along nice. It's taking time, but I'm trying to do it correctly for the most part, not jerry rig anything, but yeah, been a lot going on. There's a new president, right? Trump back in office. I know a lot of people hate him. I know a lot of people like him. A lot of things that he's doing. He's creating change, Is it the right way? I don't know. Is it the wrong way? I don't know either. I don't even think everybody knows all the facts of what exactly is happening in America today. But a couple things I did want to talk about. I know I said I wasn't really going to do politics, but we being savages now, so fuck it, right? Is the Doge thing with Elon Musk, right? And I know a lot of people are upset, and I agree. They're saying he wasn't elected, he wasn't voted in to be able to do this stuff, which is a true statement. What right does he have, this, that, and the third? I think we all heard it. Why is he doing this? You need somebody to shake some stuff up. I'm gonna just leave it there. Like, is he qualified? I don't know. He seemed like a smart person. Has he done some sketchy things with the whole Nazi salute thing? Yeah, like, I don't know how you explain that one. I don't get it. But hasn't everybody done some dumb shit in their life that you can't really explain? Like, does it make him a bad person? I don't know. I don't know him personally. Is he smart? Of course he's smart. Does he have probably a lot of smart people that work for him? Of course. But not even really trying to get into that kind of debate. What more or less is I want to talk about is all the stuff they're finding, where all this money's going, right? And I know everybody sees on TV, TikToks, YouTube, Facebook, the news, CNN, Fox. Like, yeah, I think it's funny. I sit there and I switch between them both just to see, because I'm partial. I don't want to say I'm a Republican. I'm definitely not a Democrat, but I'm not a Republican. I'm like in the middle, because I agree with both sides sometimes. I don't know what I am, but the stuff that they're finding and where millions and billions of dollars are going, I think we can all agree is some bullshit. Like, let's be real. $1 million or $2 million to Gaza for condoms. Other places, other countries for some random shit. And I think, to me, and I think that's why a lot of politicians, elected officials, are very upset, because that was their way of laundering money, and it's coming out, and American people are seeing that. And if it's our taxpayer dollars, right, that are going to other countries, other nations to help, it shouldn't be hidden in some bill somewhere, because I guarantee that's how all this stuff happened. It's all hidden in different, on page 430,000 of whatever, right? The American people should be able to say, hey, we don't want to do this, or we do want to do this. It should be up to, and that's what, that's why we vote for officials and presidents and things like that, to make it fair, right? Do we always get what we want? No. Do we sometimes pick certain individuals and they don't hold up their end of the bargain? Yes. But that's just how things go. It's just, you can't make everybody happy. And, I'm one of those people that kind of understand that. You can't make everybody happy. But this money, like, I'm telling you guys, if you don't understand this, or don't see it, this is exactly what the mob was doing back in the day. All these other drug cartels and everybody else, they laundering most of it, making up some bullshit receipt. Oh, we'll send $1,002 to wherever for this, and they pocketing it. And you guys have already seen, and I understand, we don't know all the circumstances, but even Zelensky come out. What his name? Zelensky, the dude from, oh, look at the doggies. Sorry, squirrel. Come out and said that he never got all the stuff that Biden was sending to him. Funny, right? Whatever. I mean, nothing we can really do about it now. But that's what I like. We need to be more involved. And I'm not saying it's definitely the politicians' fault. But it's kind of our own fault, too. We don't pay attention to things like this. We only get riled up, right? Whenever things like that's going on now in the news, right? That's the only time people get spun up, is whenever it's top news, right? Just like the California fires. Everybody was riled up about what's going on. Do you even hear about it anymore? No. North Carolina, don't even hear about it anymore. Hawaii, haven't heard a damn thing. Plane crashes, that's pretty much old news now. All these different things that has happened. It's just what's popular right now, and we want to hoopla and say all this stuff about it, but nobody ever backs it up. No one actually goes and digs deep and does things for it. And granted, that is what we elect these officials for, to do this stuff for us, to make sure things are fair and things are right. But we're coming to see that they're only doing it for their own interests, and that's what needs to change. And we're always talking about things need to change. And granted, do I think Trump is the best person for it? No. Do I think, I don't even know what else to put with that, but it's just things need to change, and I think that's what is trying to go on. And a lot of people are upset about it. And there's a lot of different things you could say. Oh, people are losing their jobs and all this other stuff like that. But things like that happen. People get for real, think about it. Things happen and people lose jobs. And I'm not saying it's the people that were working like the USAID, right? A lot of people lost their jobs. Or like the working from home stuff. A lot of people probably going to lose their jobs. But the working from home thing, I'm kind of like, I think you should be able to work from home. I think it just depends, honestly. Like, if you was hired at a work from home position, you should be able to keep it, because that benefits a lot of people, right? Some people don't have a vehicle to get to work, or don't have transportation, or, like childcare. But granted, if you're working from home, I think you shouldn't be watching your kids too. You should be working. But do you work from home? You're going to try to save a couple dollars, because the way things are today, right? I ain't mad about that at all. But it's just a lot of people complain about a lot of different things, and you can't make everybody happy. But we definitely need some change going on. And isn't it even what Obama ran on was change? And that's what we need right now, is a lot of change. And it's mixing things up. Like, I don't know where this extra money that they're going to stop is going to go. Where should it go? To us. Not saying to the American people, like in our pockets, but it should go to roads, bridges, construction, different things that our taxpayers are supposed to, our tax dollars are supposed to go to, if you really have traveled and really have seen different countries and seen how other places live, we're pretty much in shambles. Like, have you seen the airports lately? They're not all that. Some of them are pretty nice in America, but you go to some other countries and you're just like, good Lord. Or malls. I get malls really ain't a thing anymore because of COVID, and we really can't control that. Online shopping got big, and everybody does the Amazon and all that stuff like that. But people gotta realize is we gotta fix something. It's gotta start somewhere, and you gotta hold people accountable, like even us, But all this stuff, I'm going down a wormhole of thoughts and on a rant, and was trying not to do that. I was trying to stick to some points, but it ain't working out that way. But if you guys disagree or agree with me, comment. Like, let me know how you think about it or what you think certain things are, because I honestly think a lot of information that's being put out, that a lot of people are saying, like with the DEI stuff and everything that's going on, because there's been a lot, trust me, a lot of changes, and it affects everybody. You know, it's not just a certain group of individuals. It affects everybody. But I think some people were putting out things that aren't entirely true, and I think that is a lot to go to social media. I hate to say it, but I truly believe, and I feel like I've noticed they try to slip it in there, like the whole TikTok thing, right? Like, my algorithm was I'm sure everybody else is the same. Algorithm was way different before the whole ban thing happened. And then the ban happened, right? And then it come back on. Oh, thank Donald Trump. You know, like, even, I don't fucking know. Was it him? Who the hell knows? I don't know. But I blame Facebook. Because one, Facebook, Instagram, Meta, whatever the fuck, all that shit, right? One, we already know that the government is using Facebook. We had a whole I don't want to say the GD word, I did, but we had a whole thing, probably everybody forgets about, court cases and everything, about the government controlling what social media, Facebook, Instagram, allows to be put out, or what gets taken down. That was controlled by a group of individuals at one point, and it still is, I'm sure. But that's what I'm saying, we forget about things like that. So I think a lot of stuff that's being put out, even in, you know, in the media, like on the news channels, it's not being put out entirely true, or the whole thing, right? We see it all the time. We're not getting all the facts. We're just getting certain facts, certain agendas want us to hear, right? But I think that's what it is. I think people hear one thing and they jump on it like, oh, I didn't like this. This is bullshit. Fuck this person. They're a bad person. And I think that's wrong. I think that whenever, because I do it sometimes too. Like, you can't, like they say, don't judge a book by its cover, right? You hear certain things about certain people, and it's not just politically either. It's just in life in general. You know, you might come across a person, and, you know, you talk to them, whatever, they cool, what's up, how you doing, da-da-da, whatever, and then you leave, and then you're talking to your other homie, and they're like, oh yeah, fuck that motherfucker, he said, she said, this, that, and the other, right? But is it true? You don't know. It's just all what people are saying. But that's where I think we go wrong as a whole, is we need all the facts, and a lot of the facts are being withheld by certain people. It's a lot. It is a lot of stuff. But if you don't agree with me, that's okay too. Let me hear you. Trust me, I'm not the smartest person. I don't know about everything, about even all the stuff I'm talking about right now. I'm just kind of just putting my 2 cents in, and just how I feel on it. Like, things need to change. Yeah, we're all roughing it. We're all roughing it out here. It ain't easy at all. Things are difficult in life, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. And maybe this is the mix-up that we need. How is bringing all this to light gonna fix situations? I don't know, but it's a start. That's how I kind of look at it. Like, as long as we can take this money that's going towards different things that we don't need to be paying for, get put towards the right things, I think that's how it should be, right? And we should be aware of any kind of bills or whatever they try to get passed, and you need to contact your elected officials and let them know, hey, you know, so-and-so, sir, ma'am, whatever, I don't think this is okay. I think we should go for this. And I mean, it's all kind of, it's going to probably make the process a lot longer, but I think it's some things that should be done. If we're going to live in a world to where democracy, we have the right to choose and vote on what we believe is right, then that's just what it is, and that's how it's going to have to be. But that's all. I mean, y'all can see and look into more about that stuff. Like I'm telling you, it's these officials. They're lining their pockets. It's laundering money. That's what it is. They're washing it. They're making up receipts for something that's not real, and they're putting it elsewhere, right? Because who's really gonna go to Syria first? All this stuff, right? I'm kind of getting into it. Who's really gonna go talk to these people and be like, hey, did you receive this? You know what I'm saying? It's not like here where you could be like, oh yeah, I bought or I sold whatever to so and so. The IRS or whoever else, which is a scam too, can go to them and be like, let me see your records. No, this is not a real transaction type thing, right? They're not going to do that to other countries that ain't even allies. And a lot of these money that go in other places is supporting terrorism. Don't forget that. And I forget the lady's name. I'm pretty sure she was part of the Democratic Party and left because she realized what was going on. And she tried to make it aware to all of us. And Big Brother, I guess we could call it, shut her down. She was trying to let the American people know that our tax-paying dollars are going to these extreme organizations, extremist groups in foreign countries, pretty much to cause chaos. And a lot of times it backfires on us. Al-Qaeda, Taliban. Think about it. We funded them. We gave them what they needed. And just so happened, they say they turned on us, right? But that's what we're doing right now. We're doing the same thing to cause chaos in other countries to dismantle their government or their country. It's like hiring a mercenary without hiring a mercenary. Think about it. You're giving money to terrorist organizations to fund them to do what they want to do so they can disrupt something that you don't like. It's like hiring a mercenary. Really think about this stuff. I can't remember the lady's name. Dark-haired lady, got the white strip in her hair. I think she used to serve in the military. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't remember her name, but if you guys keep up with it, I'm pretty sure y'all have seen it before. So there's a lot of things going on that people don't understand or don't want to realize or don't want to see. Also, there's another big one I kind of want to really talk about is the whole education system thing. Shutting down the Board of Education or whatever that thing Trump's trying to do right now, right? Do I agree with it? Yes and no. Do I know all the facts? No. That's why I don't understand. Do I think children's education, kids' education needs to change? 100%. I believe it needs to change. What they're trying to change it to, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. And if y'all do, please put down information in the comments. But look at kids nowadays. I have children, I'm not saying that they're not learning what we learned as kids, but the whole process of how it is being taught or delivered to the kids, I guess you could say, I don't think is very effective. In some circumstances you can't control. I mean, 2020 was a rough year. Kids stayed home, like pretty much homeschooled. A lot of people didn't work, so parents were there helping and stuff like that, and kids were doing online school. Some people still had to go to work during COVID, so they weren't able to be there to make sure they were learning what they're supposed to be learning. Of course, as a parent, as an adult, if you have children, it's on the parent to make sure their child's doing well in school, like making sure they're doing their work, making sure they're doing their homework, checking their book bags, all this, all the things that go with being a parent. I'm pretty sure everybody kind of understands that, is you need to be on your kids' butt to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, because we all know kids, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. You know what I mean? We all understand that. But how it's being delivered, I don't think is accurate. Like, kids at school now, like, they're not even really learning. Even they're sitting in school in class, but they're not even really learning from teachers. They're sitting there on their laptops and they're getting taught from their laptop. Watch this video, it's going to teach you how to do this math, how to figure out this algebra or basic math. Like, I think you guys can see I'm in Virginia, so I don't know if you guys are or not. I'm not sure exactly how it is everywhere else, and I'm sure other schools are a little bit different, but you guys can all see a difference, I think, since then, and it's not really working out. Even you can see the national average for like 8th graders are not even reading at like a 5th grade level. Like, it's crazy. And I think that's what they're trying to change, and the Department of Education isn't fixing that. And I know you guys remember not long ago when they were talking about all the transgender stuff and all that stuff being taught at school and being told what the kids need to be and this, that, and the other. I'm a firm believer that that kind of stuff needs to stay out of school. Whether you come from a 2-mom household, a 2-dad household, or whatever, that doesn't mean anything. Kids are kids. They're all the same. That was wrong. I should have said they're all the same. But kids need to learn and grow for themselves, right? What they want to be in life. And I know this was big not long ago, but a little bit ago, of things like that, being certain books being read in schools and things like that. And if it wasn't for the parents getting involved, that stuff probably would still be happening. And in some schools, it still is happening. But I'm a firm believer, kids, it doesn't matter what your child wants to be or whatever, like that in that sexuality kind of thing. Like, you might not agree with it. Some people might not agree with it. They might not like it, but you gotta realize, as long as the kids finding their own way, right? Children, they need to find. We all found our own way in life. Our parents found their own way. Yeah, everybody's told you need to do this, you need to do that, and this is right and this is wrong and things like that, but you still found your own way. You knew what you wanted to do when you get, going through the process and everything like that. You know what you liked, you know what you didn't like. Even when it comes to just schooling in general. You like math, so you're good at math, but you don't like to read that much, so you're not that good at reading. Like, these are things that we need to start looking at. Not just throwing stuff in front of our kids and telling them this is what it is. And I think a lot of kids need to start learning more of real life things, right? Learn how to balance a checkbook. Like, we don't even really use checks anymore, but like, you still gotta understand, checks and balances and all that stuff like that. You gotta understand how to, use. The kids these days don't even really know how to write letters. I mean, granted, cursive. We're gonna talk about cursive because I feel like that's kind of a lost thing at this point. Like, we're not going to reteach it anymore, and nobody really uses it, which is fine. But like, kids don't know how to, write letters, like mail a letter to somebody. Like, simple things. Like, they should be teaching kids how to figure out their taxes, how to, when you get a job, what's a W-4? What do you put on there? What do you claim? Different things, right? Or what, like, things that we never were taught in school that we're like, man, I wish I would have learned what this was, so at least I had an idea of what I was doing. Because that's how a lot of us get screwed over and lose out in a lot of things, because we're over here learning about, Peter Pan. Granted, I'm going a little extreme with that, with my analogy, but you know what I'm saying. Things need to change. Kids need to be, and there's so many smart kids in lower end schools that just don't have what a kid would have that has a little bit more money. Like, let's be real. Let's think about it. Your parents, like, you know what I mean? You got kids that come from wealthier families that have more money and go to nicer schools. And I understand it's part of it, but it's like, if it's a public school, they should be the same across the board. And I know they try to say that it is, but we all know that it's not. We all know that it's not. A public school in a nicer neighborhood is obviously going to be not just better school, as in nicer equipment for sports, nicer books, things like that, which shouldn't happen. All the kids across the board should have access to top of the line stuff. You know, uniforms, sporting equipment, school books, libraries, all this stuff. Granted, now everything you can find on the internet these days, like for learning and stuff, but they should have access to the same things that these kids in these other upper end neighborhoods should have. Even the teachers are, I don't mean this to pick on any teachers. I'm not trying to go after teachers, but even the teachers in lower end schools aren't as good at teaching than teachers in these nice neighborhoods. And I'm not saying it's teachers' fault. I'm not saying that at all. A lot of it, I think, is on the parents. I'm not saying it's teachers' fault. I'm not saying they're not as good, because they are as good. You all went to school, and all the teachers do whatever they have to do to become a teacher the same. But they have to deal with different things than other schools, and I understand that. There's other things you got to worry about, concentrate on, and think about. And there's a lot that plays into part with all this stuff, and that's why I say it needs to come on the parents to enforce things, to make sure, you know, their children are there to learn and they're ready. And it comes to kids get to school, every child should get free breakfast, whether it be a fruit snack, or not a fruit snack, a fruit juice, like a juice box, to, you know, some pancakes or whatever, right? You got to. You can't go to school hungry. And most of the time, like, let's be real, like me growing up as a kid, me still to this day, I get up in the morning, I'm not hungry right away, right? Like, I gotta my body has to get moving, I guess, to realize, oh, I need to eat something. And nobody wants to sit there in class on a you know, empty stomach. So I think kids go to school. That's the first thing they should do. Because think about it, by the time they get to school, most kids have probably been up for about an hour. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, maybe more, maybe less. But I'm thinking about it. You get up, you know, brush your teeth, wash your face, whatever, take a shower, you know, put your clothes on, whether you catch the bus or get dropped off, you know, it takes time. So by the time you get to school, you're probably like, hey, I'm kind of hungry now, you know? Give them some food. Give them some breakfast. And it don't have to be a huge meal. Everybody sits in the cafeteria. But it could be something that you grab on your way into school, sit down, you know, first period, or you know how we did it back in the day. Your first thing, you went to school, you went to homeroom. For like, I think it was like 15 minutes or whatever, so you must, like, you know, show that you were present for the day. And then that could be your time to have your little, you know, apple, banana, whatever it may be, something healthy, but you know what I'm saying, something like that, of that nature. And then to get the kids ready, you know, to start learning throughout the day so they're not hungry, because it's going to help them. You know, I'm pretty sure it was proven that. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But anyways. And all kids should get free lunches. The lunch quality needs to be better. Definitely. The quality of the food that they get. But it shouldn't be certain families get free lunch, or your parents make a certain amount of money, so, you know, you got to pay for it. These are things our state taxes and stuff should go towards. And I think that's what they're trying to get towards, is it's to be state ran, you know, because our state taxes and our legislation and stuff like that should be enforcing these kind of things. Like, there's no reason why kids that go to, you know, a rich neighborhood, high school or middle school or whatever, and they have damn Starbucks in there, whenever you go to a lower end school and they're getting a crappy shit we all got back in the day, the cardboard fucking square pizzas and shit like that, right? It should be the same, and it should be better quality for everybody. In every school, and I get it depends on the amount of kids that go there and things like that, but every school should get the same amount of money for certain things. Like smaller schools, obviously they get a little bit less because they don't have as many kids, but it needs to be proportioned properly, and I don't think that's what it is. And I'm hoping that's what the things are trying to change. Not necessarily saying like kids don't need to be at school and don't need to learn and stuff like that. We definitely have to have an education, like you know, you got like superintendents and stuff like that, like in charge of these schools and these districts, but they need to be up to par, and a lot of schools are not up to par, and I think that's what they're trying to change. I hope. I could be dead ass wrong on that, dead ass wrong, but I hope that's what it is. Because today, I tell you, I'm not the smartest person out there, not the sharpest tools in the shed, however those sayings go, but I think I do have some common sense to understand and seeing with my own eyes that kids today, they're just different and they learn differently, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? And I'm sure our parents said the same thing about us, that well, kids these days are different, and all the young people's fault, right? And I'm sure their parents said the same thing to them, right? It's just the way life goes. Things change. Everything's not going to be the same, so you got to change it with the times, right? So if kids are trying to learn this way, and clearly it's not working, we need to change that. We need to mix it up. We need to do something different. You know, how you present the materials to the kids, how you get the kids involved in class. I know that one of my kids is just like, it's like a damn free-for-all. He sent me a video one time, just kids doing whatever the hell they wanted to do, and the teacher just standing up there trying to teach, and kids just all like, why are we letting this kind of stuff happen? That's not okay. And it comes down to parents too. A lot of parents are like, oh, thank God my kids are finally in school, I don't have to pay for childcare anymore. That's a whole nother conversation about childcare, but and they just send their kids out to school, see you when you get off the bus type stuff. I ain't got to worry about it no more. And they're not checking in, not saying you need to call the school, but they're not checking their grades, checking their homework, checking the box. They're just making sure they attend school so they don't get in trouble, right? I know we've all heard and seen different situations where kids miss so many days of school, parents get a letter, somebody's getting in trouble. That's wrong too. That should not happen. Granted, if your child is continuously not going to school, like a lot, okay, hey, what's going on at home? Then things need to happen. But like, kids get sick, kids have doctor's appointment. We all know doctors ain't open late, so you gotta have a missed school to go see a doctor. So let alone let you have a child that has I don't want to say special needs, but has something to where they have to go to the doctors more often. They have something going on to where they need to be seen more. And people are getting in trouble for this kind of stuff, and it's ridiculous. It's wrong, and it's not right. But that's what I want to talk to you. I know this one's a little lengthy, a little crazy. It probably might get taken down with some of the things that I said. I don't know. But really think about all the stuff I said. The government, right? That's number one. That's laundering money. We all know the government is like the mafia. We all know the DMV is the fucking mob. Don't get me started. But if y'all want to hear an episode about the DMV, especially here in Virginia, so y'all can be aware of what's going on with this place, let me know, because I got a lot to say about them too. But hey, as always, stay positive, treat yourself right, and treat others how you want to be treated. I love you guys. Peace!